We could all be doing other things this morning. Thus, their pews are empty. Sorry, God, I have something more important to do. The empty pew is an encouragement to the devil. Satan wants us to be lost. 1 Peter 5 and 8, it says, "Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour." The empty pew encourages him in his efforts to keep and or pull away from God. Satan and his ministers have many tricks and schemes with which they would take advantage of us. 2 Corinthians 2:11, in order that Satan might outwit us, for we are not unaware of his schemes. The person who would be sitting in the empty pew is telling Satan, as it were, you won't need those with me. God has given to us all the armor we need to stand against Satan. Ephesians 6:10 through 18. It says, "Finally, be strong in the Lord and his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God, so that you will be able to stand firm against the schemes of the devil. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the powers, against the world forces of this darkness, against the spiritual forces of wickedness in the heavenly places. Therefore, take up the full armor of God, so that you will be able to resist the evil, and having done everything to stand firm, therefore, having girded your loins with truth, and having put on the breastplate of righteousness, and having shod your feet with the preparation of the gospel of peace. In addition to all, taking up the shield of faith, which you will be able to extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. With all prayer and petition, pray at all times in the Spirit. And with this in view, be on the alert with all perseverance and petition for all the saints." The person who would be sitting in the empty pew has either never taken up the armor of God, or has long since put it aside. If Satan had a trophy case, I imagine the empty pew would be in the most prominent position. Every time your pew is empty, when it need not be, it represents a victory for Satan. The empty pew is a harbinger of lost souls. The empty pew does not make an audible sound, but if it did, it probably would be the wailing and gnashing of teeth. Matthew 10:28. "Do not be afraid of those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. Rather be afraid of the one who can destroy both body and soul in hell." Heaven is a prepared place for a prepared people. Matthew 25:34. "Then the king will say to those on his right, 'Come, you who are blessed by my Father. Take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world.'" Those who could have filled an empty pew will be lost eternally, not because their pews were empty, but because they failed to prepare themselves for heaven. No one here wants you to be lost for any reason. But wouldn't it be sad if we were simply lost just because we were disinterested in preparing yourself for heaven? That your pew is unjustifiably empty most of the time. We encourage you to put forth a greater effort in your attendance. Therefore, we have some empty pews simply because we do not have enough people to fill them. Therefore, we must work together to fill those pews. If you just need prayers or want to put the full armor of God and have not, come as we stand and as we sing.